Next, the story of a rock group that's proving too hot to handle, and it's all because of what the group handles when it's on stage. The band is called The Goods. Some folks say they're up to no good, and they've banned the band from playing their town. The reason? Condoms. It seems some people in Hollywood, Florida simply don't like what band members do with condoms when they're up there on stage. But before your imagination takes off, it's not what you might think. All these guys really do is toss the condoms into the crowd. They say it's simply their way of joining the fight against AIDS. Still, some city fathers in Hollywood, Florida don't like these unconventional freebies. As Inside Story's Dan Housley tells us, they told the Goods to take their condoms and toss them somewhere else.
In many ways, the Goods are a typical rock band on the rise. 4 guys playing clubs and colleges wherever they can get a gig, belting out everything from ballads to a brand of music affectionately referred to as thrash. What has set the Goods apart from the pack, for better or worse, is a little ditty called Keep the Rubber Side Down. It's an AIDS awareness anthem, which praises the power of prophylactics. But when sex education reaches this kind of volume, the message may be lost. So the Goods resort to visual aids. When these guys pitch condoms, they literally pitch the condoms into the crowd until the inch-square packets litter the dance floor. The Goods are a hit in the hometown clubs in and around Miami. But an age-old show business question asks, will it play in Peoria? Peoria? Heck, the Goods got a healthy dose of condemnation just up the road in the city of Hollywood. The Goods were getting ready to take their act outdoors, here to this beachfront band shell in Hollywood, the theater under the stars. The city was going to pay the Goods $75 to perform as part of its outdoor concert series. But somewhere along the way, a city official got wind of the condom tossing act, and just a few hours before showtime, he pulled the plug.
We have a middle-class, middle-aged, elderly audience at the beach. I think they would have been grossly offended. I know I would have been.
Councilman John Williams is not the city official who pulled the plug on the Goods, but he says he agrees with the move wholeheartedly.
Believe me, if I'd been walking down the Broadwalk and I had seen condom tossing at the audience, somehow I would have found a way to stop that concert in midstream, somehow.
Williams thinks most of his constituents would rather hear music like this. He plays jazz piano as a part-time profession.
Rock music in the United States has gained in popularity directly inversely proportionate to the rate of literacy as we become more of an illiterate nation, and I think statistics support that.
So are you saying our kids are getting dumber because they're listening to rock, or they're listening to rock because they're getting dumber?
Half and half, but mostly because they're getting dumber. They think that rock music is an acceptable musical idiom, and it isn't.
Williams says his heroes, Sinatra, Basie, Benny Goodman, those guys didn't have to resort to gimmicks like condom tossing. But the guys from the Goods say their condom tossing is more than just a gimmick. It's part of the message.
When you tell somebody something, sometimes they just listen to it and it passes by, but if you shake them up a little and tell them right to their face, they'll listen and understand. And by throwing the condoms out, that's what we do. You know, we're shaking them up and saying, look, this is what's going on. Wake up, AIDS is around, it's not going to go away.
The Goods say Hollywood has censored that message. Sure, they got paid for their non-performance, $75, but they insist that's not the point.
The point is, we wanted to play there, and it was a really nice night, and we had another band with us, and a lot of people got lost out. You know, it could have been a really nice time, had a good time, and the condoms are just a fraction of what we do. We never intended for it to be a gimmick. It's just, you know, we have a good time playing our music, and that's what it's all about.
The Goods are not without their supporters in the city of Hollywood. In fact, they say the mayor of Hollywood is a real hip lady. She called to apologize.
I told them that I apologized for the way that they were treated, that I felt that it was uncalled for, that I don't think anyone, as I just said, should be treated that way, and that I hope that they would perform for us.
The Goods and Mayor Guglielmi's people have worked out a compromise, which may have the band performing in Hollywood next month. The band has agreed not to toss their condoms, but they will be allowed to set up a table nearby where AIDS awareness information and prophylactics will be available for anyone who's interested. The Goods say they want to get their music and their message out to as many people as possible. And even their chief critic, Councilman Williams, is invited to come out and sample their wares.
What the Goods stand for basically is open-mindedness. So if we could invite him to come to our show, maybe he would have a good time, even though...
So John, if you're listening, if you're watching, you're invited.
Hollywood isn't the only place the Goods have been hassled about their act. The band's manager says they were booked into Miami's St. Thomas University, but they had to back out when the school insisted they keep their condoms in their pockets. Well, if nothing else, this condom gimmick has certainly brought the band a lot of publicity, which is probably what they were after in the first place.